Okay guys, here's the old ones in the middle. You see how rigid they are? They're not as compliant. This one in particular is really hard. This one must have been where the sunlight was getting to it. And you know, gasoline, you know, kind of gets on the inside of these and makes its way when they're not sealing right to the outside of these. And then gasoline hardens up the rubber and age hardens it up. Look at these nice brand new pliable ones. Look how flexible they are. And you say, oh, well, that's not a perfect circle. You're flexing the heck out of it. Well, yeah, because when it goes on the back of the carburetor, as flexible as it is, it'll conform. This ain't conforming. Look how rigid it is. Look how tight. This one was sitting in the sunlight, I guess. Look how much harder this one is even than this one. I mean, there's no chance of this ever sealing right again. And then here's the new one. Look at that. Hello, hello, look how flexible I am. See that? So, I mean, you know, not to quote a modern worldly song, but you could go with this, or you could go with that, or you could go with this, but this is where it's at. See? I mean, look at that. Look at that, guys. I mean, this is going to ride up on the back of the carburetor and seal. And I got two brand new springs. You know, one of these old ones was missing one completely, and the other one's bent up. You know, look how bent up it is and twisted and all. It's just never going to make a good circle. So I got two nice brand new springy new springs and two flexible intake boots. This thing's really going to seal. You guys how to orient these in the air box. They're not marked left and right. They're ambidextrous, but they do have the flat spots here for this reason. See how it won't fit like that in the air box? See that? The flat spots have to go towards the center like that, face each other in the air box, and then that'll give these passageways for the CVs room to live in that slot. So, you know, if you mixed them up and did them this way, that's all right. It doesn't matter which way is left and right, but what matters is when you put them in the air box, when you put them inside these holes up in here, the flat spots face in like that. There's been some debate through the years on the best way to handle these little springs that go on the manifolds, okay? It's very, very difficult to stretch them on and hook it in place. You don't have room to work in the airbox area. Then once you get the carburetors in and get these pushed up on them, and even if you do get, you know, your old nasty crusty one, look at it, look at this old nasty crusty one. I can't even get it on the carburetor without forcing it. Now, well, now that it's on there, yeah, see? So now that I force it, now look, it's not sitting straight. See that? More evidence of why I had to replace it. Even when I got it on there, it's still not holding a good circle. It's not going on and staying on all the way right there. So, but the nice brand new fresh ones will. But the best way to handle these springs is to hook them together first. Some guys put preloaded twists in them like that. They hold this end tight and they twist this end and then hook it together with the mindset that that's going to help it stay. I'll be honest with you, I found that does me more harm than good. I just hook them straight like that with no twist, and then I go to the bike and I try to, you know, stretch them out and get them on the back groove. You want it on that back groove. If you have good boots and you went and bought nice fresh ones to do the job with, then when you get your carburetor in there and you get that boot on there like that, okay, again, that's not sitting right. I see that, but again, the nice new fresh booties will. When you get your nice new fresh boots on, just take your fingers, take that spring and rotate it into the forward position. Just like that. It really is as simple as that, guys. It doesn't have to be hard. You don't have to make it hard on yourself. Guys try to get the carbs in first, and then they try to hook those springs around it after the fact. So that's crazy. You gotta put the springs. You put the springs on first, the back groove. Get everything situated. Get all your manifolds, your front manifolds, your carburetor. push your air box up. I like to push the air box as far forward as it'll go, and that gives a nice press on the rubber, and then tighten that down. And the last thing you do when everything's lined up is just take your fingers. You're going to reach down in. It's a little bit awkward because you got to work around the carburetors, but you just reach down in there, rotate these forward into that forward position, and now at that point, with good rubber, it should seal, and that's no more air leaks. I personally think it's a cheap way to manufacture it. You know, how much more would it have cost to just properly mold that with a clamp and then clamp the things? I don't know. I don't know why they did it. Save a penny on, you know, 500,000 bikes. That's a lot of money. But yeah, that's the right way to do the Ninja 250 carb springs.